Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show with your host, Anthony Sain. Now, let's get to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain, here with my guy, Kenny Stubblefield. Kenny, what's going on, my brother?
Man, it's good to be seen, bro. How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. Shout out to my boy, Justin Ford, my guy, world famous photographer of the stars here, Justin
Let's
Ford,
go.
in the comments, man. I would tell you another connection I had to Justin Ford, but ain't none of y'all business. But anyway, man, welcome to the show. It is a great Wednesday
Eskimo Brothers?
No, I ain't no Eskimo bros. He my guy, man. He's connecting me with a lot of things, man. He's put some money in my pocket, man, over the years, man. My guy, Justin Ford, for sure.
Shout out to Wayno. Let me just, I really didn't understand necessarily like what the whole story is with him. He's from Sydney, Australia. This man apparently sets an alarm for every time we go live and wakes up in the middle of the night to watch the shows.
For real. That was up, bro.
Wayno, what time is it?
Don't sleep for real, man.
Wayno, what time is it over there in Sydney, Australia?
I need to know. My guy,
it's
Wayno,
like
man.
It's like 4 a.m. over there, bro.
Yeah, it's probably something like that for sure.
Crazy.
But Wayno, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you getting up. I'm assuming that women don't like you because ain't no way in the world you doing all this and you got women up to the house. But it's all good, man.
Man's married, man. Man's got married. He's booed up, man.
Okay, cool. He married. I can get it. Okay, I get it.
5 a.m. in Sydney, Australia, right now.
Yeah, I get it. I hope he's not sending an alarm that's waking up Mrs. O.
Mrs. O. Right. Mrs. O.
I hope he ain't waking up Miss O at the house, man. But Wayno, we definitely appreciate you rocking with us, bro. For sure. But it is a great show today, planned today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, Kenny Stubblefield.
Yeah, we do.
The NBA Finals are approaching us, man. And
I cannot
everybody,
wait.
If you are a Grizzlies fan, all the Grizzlies fans are looking what other teams are doing and wondering what should we do and should we do things the way they're doing it. And then you see teams like the Knicks, they fired Coach Tom Thibodeau. People say, should the Grizzlies have got a coach like him? And you got guys like me who said, maybe, we should reach out to Coach Tibbs about being the assistant coach here on our bench and all these type of things, right? And you had people responding to that. So we'll talk about, does experience matter in today's NBA? We'll talk about that to lead off the show. Also, for the three-pointer, Kenny, a lot of things going on. Yep. It's looking like the NBA All-Star Game will feature some sort of USA versus the world. There's been little teasers about that going around. We're going to talk about that. The Orlando Magic dropped a uniform that we've seen before.
Feelings of nostalgia.
And has some local ties to it as well, man. Also, some Memphis Grizzlies potential uniform leaks as well as an interesting conspiracy theory that was dropped by Bill Simmons yesterday regarding the New York Knicks coaching situation. And we're talking about something for inside the same brain. I really don't think our parents cared about us as much as they should have. When we were kids, Kenny. We'll talk about.
It's become increasingly clear as we
they didn't.
As we
give a damn about it. The older we
get, like, get the hell out the house, bro. Like,
yeah. We'll talk about that and more. But as I said to start off the show, Kenny, we will talk about the question. We will ponder the question: does experience matter in today's NBA? And every day I prepare Kenny with this rundown of things, and I never actually got to the notes for this. So there's actually stuff from yesterday where the notes should go. So I just flow with me, Ken.
I'm flowing. I'm here, bro.
Yeah, I don't have bullet points for you. Like I said, the New York Knicks yesterday let go of Coach Wayne. I mean, not Wayne Thibodeau. Coach Tom Thibodeau. I don't know who Wayne Thibodeau is, but they let go of Coach Tom Thibodeau after 5 seasons. A guy who got them multiple back-to-back seasons for the first time since the 90s. Got them to the Eastern Conference Finals. All these things, in New York, right? They let him go. And then the questions were, why, what were they trying to do? Can you really blame him? All these type of things came out, right?
Yeah.
And you look, I put something out saying the Grizzlies should reach out to him now about being first year coach Tom Easter. I mean, I gotta get my names right.
Yeah,
Tom Isolo. Who?
Tuomas.
You
were super
close.
close.
I just kind of Americanized it. Yeah.
Thomas Isolo.
Yeah, Tommy Isolo. T-Baby.
We're going Memphis. T-Main. Let's go Memphis. T-Main on the bench now. I love it.
But Coach Isolo, like, as far as I was suggesting, like, the Grizzlies to reach out to Coach Tibbs to get a veteran coach to be his lead assistant, right? A guy who can kind of help him with some things he's never seen before in the league, can really preach that defense to him. Just being a guy who is going to be respected in the locker room, right? To help out a coach that you feel like has the the intelligence and the basketball intellect,
the chops, right? You
yeah,
got to
the
get
deal, the
guys
guy
with
who's been there,
chops.
right?
Yeah,
And I got different responses from people. People saying we should just hire him as the coach and all these type of things, and Coach Tibbs would never come here. And it just kind of made me pose the question, because this guy, I can't remember who it was, but somebody on Twitter like goes into this kind of a long tweet response. It is all about, where this franchise is.
right.
We need this vet coach, right? We need to bring in this guy who's, got experience, who can lead these guys. And I had to remind him, and I'll say this again on the show. I think I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. If you look at not just today's NBA, Kenny,
Yeah,
NBA history suggests that that's just not what happens.
that's not what happens.
Like when you look throughout the history of the league, and I'm gonna say that the league NBA started when Magic and Larry Bird came. There was
Not
no
before.
NBA. There was no NBA before those dudes. I don't go back then. I also say that because that's when I was born. I was born in '79, so I don't count the NBA outside of before I was born.
What's the phrase you use? Until black people got in the league?
Yeah, until you had like smooth black dudes in the league, the NBA don't count, man. So Dr. J and Magic is kind of when the founders of the NBA.
I love
Just gonna go back in history, man. Like, and I'm gonna just kind of point to, you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, right?
Right.
And this is a team where they got Coach Mark Daigneault, who was a G League coach in the Thunder organization.
Right.
The Thunder had
Billy Donovan before that
was their coach, long historic, all-time great college coach at Florida, right? He came and he couldn't get that team over the hump. And then you bring in Mark Daigneault to be the guy to get you over the hump. Like, that's a recent example, right? You got the Boston Celtics, who had Brad Stevens, another great legendary college coach. He couldn't really get that team over the hump. He steps down. They hire Ime Udoka, who also didn't get him to win a championship, but he got him to the NBA Finals. Right. He's proven to be a great coach in the league, right?
Right.
This was a first-year head coach guy. Mark Daigneault was a first-year head coach. He's about to get this Thunder team, to a championship, or in that championship conversation, right? And you look at guys like Boston's current coach, I can't think of his name, Joe Mazzulla, right? Same situation. He's the guy that won the championship with Boston. He was a first-year coach. But that's all in the last few years, right? And you might look at that like, okay, that's just a recent trend, Kenny. But I'm here to tell you, like, through the history of the NBA, it has more often than not been that first-year guy who comes in and takes over these vet teams. I'm gonna go back to 1980, which is when the NBA started.
And back when,
go back to his roots, right? I'm gonna go back to the roots of the league, right? Which is the year that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson hit the league.
Right.
The Los Angeles Lakers won the championship in 1980. Their coach was Paul Westhead, who was the first-year coach. I'll fast forward you a little bit to, I want to say Casey Jones was too when he won championships with Boston. I might be incorrect on that. I want to say Chuck Daly was when he was the coach of those Pistons teams. Phil Jackson was the first-year coach. They got as far as they could go with Coach
Doug Collins.
Doug Collins. They got as far as they can go. They brought in Phil Jackson, was a first-year coach.
Right.
Just gonna go down the list. Phil Jackson, of course. San Antonio Spurs. Greg Popovich was a first-year coach. He's an anomaly. I'm not really going to count him for or against the argument I'm trying to make, because he was the only coach they had for a very long time. He was there through every iteration of that team, so that doesn't really count. If you want one in favor of bringing in the vet to take the team to the next level, it's Larry Brown in 2004. Not Rick Alleman, but the coach of the Pacers right now was Rick Carlisle. He was the coach of that Detroit Pistons team, young coach on that Pistons team. They fired him. They brought in the older voice in Larry Brown, right? That's one that goes against my statement. We're going to keep this going, man. First-year coaches. Eric Spoelstra was giving the reins to the Heatles.
Right.
Back in 2012 when they won the championship. First-year coach, never coached a team before, right? Tyronn Lue was a first-year coach that was given the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's who I was thinking, yep.
Steve Kerr was given the reign to the Golden State Warriors to be the guy to get them over the hump. He was a first-year coach. Nick Nurse, if you want to say all you're naming former NBA players, I ain't naming those stars. Just keep that in mind. These are all just like role players in the league. They're not.
Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr came off the sideline. He was commentating.
He was a commentator, and I think he was like in the Suns front office or something.
Was he? I don't even.
But I'm saying Steve Kerr was a player. He was a former player.
Oh, right.
It's not like it's Michael Jordan walked in the room. It's freaking Steve Kerr. Like ain't like dudes. Oh man, Steve Kerr is our coach. You know what I mean? Tyronn Lue was a first-year coach. Eric Spoelstra, first-year coach. Nick Nurse, first-year coach. Ime Udoka, first-year coach. Joe Mazzulla, first-year coach. Mark Daigneault, first-year coach. All throughout history, teams have been, when they've made the move to go from the coach that got them to the top of the mountain, it took another guy to get them over the top of that mountain to a championship. And way more times than not, it's been a guy that has the credentials of a Tomas Isolo than Mike Malone or whatever or Budenholzer or or whoever, man, or Thibodeau. It's been these type. It's not been the retread. It's been a first year guy that teams have trusted to take their teams to the next level, and that's throughout NBA history, bro. You know what I mean? Joe Mazzulla did not take over from Brad Stevens. There was the comments. It was Ime Udoka first. He was in between.
He got caught. He got busted.
Right. But like I said, Ime Udoka didn't lead them to a championship, but he was in the finals, and he's proven to be a good coach in Houston. It's guys like this often, man, that are the guys that come in and do these type of things. And I had the conversation with the guy on Twitter. He was like, "Oh, is this first time, unaccomplished Euro coach or whatever." And I'm like,
unaccomplished is a strong statement.
That's just not true, man. Like, these guys won championships overseas. And let me just say this, bro. I don't know what Tomas Isolo is going to do. I don't think anybody does, good or bad, right? But I'm just saying, you can't write him off as like, oh, the Grizzlies just made a dumb hire by what they're doing. And if you look at the Knicks situation, there are a lot of first-time guys that are listed as guys who might that are the Mike Malone's not even coming up in these conversations, right? It looks like they're about to do the same thing. Like everybody this offseason hired the interim. You know, when the
Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Suns just hired.
They're about to hire a young guy, right? They just hired a young guy today.
Jordan Knight from the Cleveland Cavaliers,
And it's just like, we just have to get out of that way of thinking. And the best way I'll put it is that if the Euro League, those Euro leagues are the best leagues outside the NBA,
100%,
including college basketball. And if the Grizzlies went out and hired, what's my guy with UConn?
Dan Hurley.
They hired Dan Hurley, right? Everybody like, oh crap, we got Dan Hurley, man. That's a hell of a hire, man. He's like the best coach in college basketball. The NCAA is not the second best league in the world. The Euro leagues are the second best league in the world. 100%. And we hired a guy who's won multiple championships over there. And people around the world are saying he's the best coach outside of the NBA, period. Yeah. And I think it's really unfair to judge what he can be because we got a preview of him that we never should have gotten. Because here's the thing. If the Grizzlies had fired Taylor Jenkins at the end of the season and Tomas Isolo was brought in as your next coach, right? He's brought in as your next coach. Good point by Kip Gordon. If the Spurs can hire Mitch Johnson to be the coach of the Spurs, like, no, like we shouldn't be. The experience part shouldn't matter at all. It's just a new NBA, man. And it's not, and like I said, it's been that way. It's not. I just gave y'all like 15 examples of teams who fired their coach and they brought in a new dude, except for Larry Brown. That's the only one I could see just off the top of my head. That was not that case, right? But what I'm trying to say is, the Euro League is better than anything NCAA. And if he's proven to be a coach over there, I trust that he can coach over here. And I think it's totally unfair to it. Let's say if Tomas Isolo was hired now, right? Like, we've never seen him coach, and he goes out and he's coaches the Grizzlies next year. It's going to be a rough transition as he learns to be a coach, right? And those first 9 to 10 or 15 games, you're going to say, okay, this is a rookie coach, but I can see the signs. And we would judge him like a rookie coach, and we would let him, get his bumps. And, guys like, and we've seen the same thing like with J.J. Redick, right, where he looked kind of rough to begin the season. And all the jokes of they hired a podcaster, like all that stuff is coming out. And then he's a guy who's looking like one.
They ain't saying shit now.
He looks like he's a good coach, right? And it's unfair for us to take what would have been any other coaches, rev up time just trying to learn the game. But it just so happened to happen that the last 9 games of an actual NBA season and going into the playoffs. Like, you shouldn't be able to look at that and say, okay, well, that's who that guy is. Like, he has to have a fair run, just like any other first-year coach, right? And I said that I definitely criticized GM Zach Kleiman for bringing him in at that point in the season because you really set him up to fail. You know what I mean? And he had moments where he looked really good and moments like he looked like a first-year coach. And he's going to look like a first-year coach next year. But that doesn't mean he's not the dude, bro. Like, history shows you that these type of dudes are the guys that get these teams over the hump, man.
Yeah.
And I just think that we have to keep those type of things in mind. Like I said, I don't know what he's going to be. I think he has the chops. In the interviews, he sounds very well. His concepts of the game sound very well. And I hear a lot of people say things like Taylor Jenkins 2.0. If you hear this man talk and actually explain basketball, he confidently can speak hoops like no coach we probably ever had here since Hubie Brown, just being real with you. As far as straight out being the talk hoops. He knows the game. He knows strategy. I like his strategy. And if you like what the Pacers are doing, he has that same type of mentality as far as getting the ball up court, fast pace, getting into the fast break, getting the ball up ahead, putting the ball in your best player's hand. All those type of things are concepts that he lives by. Plus, on defense, he's big about attacking the ball handler, attacking the point of attack, having versatile defenders on the court. That's something he's big about on defense. And we didn't get to see that this season because he wasn't running our stuff, man. But I just think we just do a lot of complaining about, oh, we should have got a vet coach, and we should have waited to get this vet. And like nobody in history does that, bro. Like the entire time it's been a bunch of first-year guys. An NBA coach's career feels like no more than 4 or 5 years in a particular team anyway. So it's mostly new guys coming in. And like I said, I think that he's been open to criticism because he came in at the end of this season. But I don't really think that's a fair way to gauge what he could be.
Do you think it's fair to say that he came in kind of with the stink of the second half of the season on him already? Like that people, I think Memphis fans are almost kind of done with the by the end of the season, it was just like, man, let's just put them out of their misery, get this thing over with, kind of a deal. Like, do you think that was a part of some of the commentary around Tomas Isolo, was just that it was the end of a really rough season, but in the end,
I think he caught the tail end of a lot of crap, man. Like this was a very weird season, bro. We had a season where a bunch of grown men came into a room and said, "Hey, let's run an offense that's going to make Ja Morant look worse." Like that's what they came out of a room saying, right? And let's draft this 7'4" monster of a big man, and just don't set screens with him. Like these are the type of things that we had to deal with and we had to make excuses for. And let's play Desmond Bain, John Jaren, 20 minutes a game. Like let's do that. Like all these things, all these weird things were happening this year. I'm gonna go back to what Greer says.
Yeah, I want to put this up here. Yeah.
Yeah. He says, does hiring a rookie NBA coach hurt you in the short term or help you extend your championship window? I think the answer to that very well could be both. Like as we see throughout time, I don't think the Grizzlies are going to be bad this year because we have a first-year head coach. I don't understand where their logic even comes from. Because at the end of the day, bro, if the Grizzlies, one of the reasons why the Grizzlies could not look better than they did this year is because we got 50-something games with Ja Morant as opposed to 60-something, 70-something. All these teams that are left, the 2 teams that are left playing in the NBA Finals, the 4 teams that played before that, all had guys with their stars qualified for postseason awards, if I'm not mistaken, where their best player all qualified for those awards, right? And I just think that those type of things matter to us more than anything. If we get the roster together, if we make the moves we need to make in the offseason to shore up, give us more veteran presence on the wing, and maybe get a backup big or whatever.
The guys stay healthy, man. If the guys stay healthy,
we're healthy, man, we're going to be good. Like we can win. We could. I'm not saying we're going to win a championship next year. Probably not, bro. But I think we'll be a much. I believe our floor will be raised for sure. And I don't think if we end up having a rough year next year, I don't think it's because of who the coach is. It'll come down to the same stuff it's always been. Our season ended with Ja Morant on the ground. You know what I mean? So that's how I think things are gonna go. And like I said, I don't know, bro. Like I don't know if he's gonna be a good fit or not. But I don't think that the fact that he's new is evidence that he won't be a good coach. Because there's been too many first-year coaches that have came in and really showed you that they can do their thing.
I think honestly, and I think Wayno brings up a good point. He has a season in the NBA under his belt as an assistant, plus 9 regular season games, plus
and the freaking playoffs,
and 2 play-in games and 4 playoff games
against one of the best teams in league history. You just league history, about it. Yeah.
I wonder, like, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, he was put in a really rough position, right? Like,
yeah, a position you'll never see again.
You'll probably, hopefully not, hopefully not. But did these games, these 9 games, these 11 regular season games, and then 4 playoff games, did they help him, like, kind of ease into that role already? Like he's the guy. Like there's not an off season that he's not coming in during the off season having to establish things. He's here already. He's already coached. He's been the front chair. He's been the first chair. He's been that guy.
Right. My guy, Jason Mitchell, Jay Midge, longtime supporter of the show, good friend of mine. He says our end of the year situation wasn't a result of the end of the year. The fall of this team happened on night 1 of the season. And I agree with that, man. A house divided will never stand. It came in super weird where Zach Kleiman hired his next coach while the current coach was still there. And that whole thing ever since then has gotten weird. But I think it's going to be fine. I think he'll be a good coach next year. I think he's shown coaching acumen like we've rarely seen here in Memphis. And I'm here for it, bro. Sign me up for all of it. I want to see how free agency goes, how we build his team around what he does.
I think it's a good question. Do we know?
Yeah.
Have we heard anything about him building out his coaching staff?
No, but you got to remember, we didn't start hearing that stuff until well after this time last year. Remember last year we didn't hear about assistant coaches for a while. We heard about your boy, what's her name, early, because that was Taylor Jenkins' early hire, Noah LaRoche. We didn't hear about the rest of the hirings. The season was almost ready to start before we even found out who the rest of the assistant coaches were. You remember them? You remember?
Yeah. And I don't think that's a good thing, but I'm hoping. I would love to see him. If you could sit down with T-Main in the offseason right now, T-Baby, what would you say to him? Like, hey, Tomas, this is who I would look at as your assistant coaches. Like, this is what your assistant coaching staff should look like.
Man, if he could get Tibbs, I'd definitely be down for that. I'm big on the Rajon Rondo train. I think he's with Cleveland or somebody right now. If you could pry him away from there, I would like to see him. Y'all probably know better than me because y'all probably know, people in the comments probably know.
Yeah, Daniel said he's getting Mike Brown, Mike Malone, and Tibbs as his assistants.
Hey, why not?
Let's go.
Why not, bro?
Hey, ain't got a job.
Ain't got shit else going on. Bring your ass.
Bring your ass.
Bring your ass. But yeah, man, speaking of bring your ass, Kenny Stubblefield, we are about to take a break. And if you're watching the show in any method other than on our YouTube page, this feed is about to end. I see that the people who are commenting are all comment on YouTube. Seems like people now it might just be hopping on over straight to YouTube. Like I said, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, that feed's about to end. Come watch the rest of the show, man. We got a lot more to talk about. It's gonna be a fun show, especially when we get into our old man moment for Inside the Same Brain to realize that our parents really didn't give a damn about us as kids. We'll talk about that and more when we come back on the Anthony Sain Show. See y'all in a minute, man.
I don't think it stops them because the biggest point is they're going to have SGA regardless. SGA is not going anywhere. That's the centerpiece. That's what makes everything go. There's an argument to be made. You got to pay everybody, and things are going to change, and things could potentially look different. But you have SGA regardless. B, it's a really young core to this team that you could, in theory, keep intact. Like, who's to say that this isn't, that this is the best Thunder team that we see?
Sam Presti, it's almost like he knew this was coming.
That's fair.
They have 2 picks in the first round this season coming up in the NBA draft. They have 10 first-round picks from 2026 to 2031. Also, on top of that, you know who has yet to play a minute for the Oklahoma City Thunder? Nikola Topic, their 12th overall pick from last year.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
A Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Anthony Sain Show. Glad y'all came back after the break. Shout out to my people who started on Facebook and Twitter and slid over to YouTube. Y'all getting better, man. Y'all understand it. Some of y'all just understand the assignment. Just go and start on YouTube, man. But it's all good. We appreciate y'all, but we are back. Kenny, it's time for the segment of the show where we talk about 3 things going on in the world of sports, man. We call this joint the 3-pointer, Kenny Stubblefield. First point I'm gonna make, Kenny. Yahoo Sports reports that the NBA All-Star Game is more than likely set to feature some aspect of USA versus the world. I think this might be about the dumbest shit that we've seen.
Is
with the
this
All-Star
new?
Game.
Is this a new thing? This has happened. Or
They've
did they
been
do this?
doing it. They tried it.
Didn't they try with
them
the
do
Rising
this-
Stars or something like that?
When I saw, the Rising Stars game at one point for at least about a 3-year run. Because I remember when I went to cover the All-Star game in Chicago, the Rising Stars game was first year and second year world players against first year and second year USA players.
Team USA
and
players.
that whole concept was ass too.
Right.
Because Josh Jaren and Brandon Clark were all first and second year players, but BC played for the world team, and I was like, all right, this is goofy. But the whole concept is goofy. And here's the thing. I want you guys to clearly understand what I'm about to say. Do I think that a USA versus the world game would be incredible? Yes.
Oh, God.
I would pay pay-per-view to see that. If you could get the USA versus the world, I would love to see that. Because, of course, one thing, I think it would end all the nonsense because the USA would bust their ass. And let me just put that out there first. The USA would beat the shit out that team. Let me just put that out there first.
Yeah.
Let me say that. I think it'd be a great game. But it shouldn't replace the All-Star game. The All-Star game is, I'm about to have a get off my lawn, yelling at the clouds moment.
Right.
But it's supposed to be East versus West, bro. It's supposed to be the best players from this conference versus the best players from this conference, regardless of what country they're from. And the fact that you're gonna now, is the NBA full of European stars? No, it is not. That's a misconception. Is it a global league? It is not. Is the NBA top heavy with stars of global stars? Yes. Your current MVP, the MVP before him, the MVP before him, they're all international players. If Giannis wasn't a basketball player, he'd be from Africa, but he'd be a refugee from Africa, but he's Greek. But anyway, it's still international. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
You're correct.
But he wouldn't be in the Greek. If he ain't play basketball, he'd just be somebody from Africa. But anyway, do I think it'll be a good game? Yes, but it's not the All-Star game, bro. And like I said, there's a huge misconception that the world is caught up because you have the Giannis's of the world, you have the Lukas of the world, you have the SGAs, the Jokic, all these type of guys. They're very top heavy.
Yeah.
But when you get into the bench and when you get into those guards
what
of
are we talking
international
about?
guards,
Bro.
yeah, you go ahead and bring out one of them Bogdanoviches against Anthony Edwards and Ja and come on, yeah, you go ahead and bring out one of them Bogdanovich brothers. Put them out in your starting lineup.
The one that didn't make the NBA. Bring him. Bring
Yeah,
his
go get
ass
him.
on.
Yeah. Go get Dylan Brooks to be your wing, right? Go get RJ Barrett. go get RJ Barrett, man. Go get Dylan Brooks, man. Nah, bro, it ain't nowhere close. It is nowhere close. Like, and this is the main part. First of all, I don't think the world team is nearly as deep as people think. Plus, there's a lot of bigs. Most of the global players are big men, like true power forwards and centers. There's not a lot of guards. There's not a lot of wings going to be on those teams. Is the starting lineup sexy? Hell yeah, it's sexy as hell. You looking at Luka, SGA, Jokic, Giannis, and Wemby, right? That's an insane starting lineup, right? Yeah, get off into that bench, man. Get off into that bench for sure. You go put Dennis Schroeder on your team. What you doing, man? You know what I mean? Like it ain't as many dudes as people try to act like it is that are international born players. But here's the part that I think bothers me the most. All-Star game nominations affect a lot of things. It affects guys' payroll, endorsements, Olympics. It affects legacies, Hall of Fame, all those type of things, right? And in a situation where you're limiting, because currently the All-Star teams are 12 dudes on the East, 12 dudes on the West, right? If you're doing 12 versus 12, and you're limiting the All-Star game to 12 American-born players, you're going to be like grandfathering in. I don't want to see Vucci Mane in the All-Star game. I don't want to see that, bro. Like
Dennis Schroeder will be the starting point guard.
Dennis Schroeder will be an All-Star every year
if they do the team.
And he's nowhere near an NBA All-Star.
World
bro.
versus the NBA.
You would see Dylan Brooks in the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
RJ Barrett would be an All-Star.
It's crazy.
And we've seen guys who, like the Laurie Markkinens, these type of guys. They make the future Grizzly Laurie Markkinen, right? Like you see these guys, they make the All-Star game, and they don't make the All-Star game again. But people want to put them in their list of international All-Stars. Man, those dudes aren't. I'm talking about green light, solid green All-Stars, guys that are there every year. Yeah. If you limit that to 12, make an All-Star team and only name 12 Americans. You can't do it, bro. It's too many dudes you're gonna get cut off while you're watching some guy that's an international player who really shouldn't be in there in the first place. I saw Greer said that he liked the multiple teams this past year. That's the only argument I have. If you want to do it like a 4-team thing where you got 24 American All-Stars, like 3 8-man teams, and 1 world team, there's 8 players, I can kind of get behind it, but you got to do it right. It's got to feel like a real game. It can't be like this little, because what's my boy name? Play for Houston, man. The big,
Sengun.
Yeah, Sengun, tall body, short leg. I don't think Sengun played in an All-Star game at all. You know what I mean? Like, because the game was over in like 10 minutes, right? So if they make that where it's maybe even a 2-day thing, where it's like a real All-Star game tournament, where you got, 3 USA teams and 1 world team of 8 players, where you got, in that case, you got 24 American All-Stars as opposed to, it'd be the same thing. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be that many spots, but you got opportunity for 24 American players and 8 world players. I could get with that, especially, but even with that, bro, I don't even want to do that either, because why am I splitting up the American team? Because I'm not going to have my best against y'all. Get it out of here, man. Back it up, man. Back up the whole idea, man.
So,
it's dumb, bro. Get it out.
King Meeks asked us a question, and I want to take. Can I answer? Can I give my short answer quickly?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be accused.
I got a quick answer.
I don't want to be accused of stealing from you. No, I think adult men NBA fans, adult women NBA fans, I think this is more on us than it is on them revamping to make it interesting for us. This is just an exhibition game for the kids, man. It's for the kids, and it's for the sponsors. Like, let them enjoy. Let the kids, and the sponsors enjoy it.
And I'm glad you said.
And just as a avid basketball guy, as somebody who's grown in my knowledge of the game, I appreciate the regular season and playoffs more than I do the All-Star game. Put the All-Star game in a proper perspective. This is not. Why do we need to make this thing a competitive thing for us? For us. It doesn't matter for us. The kids will still love it because they're seeing dunks and they're seeing great. They see all their heroes on TV, right? Like at the same time, and that's cool. But if you're a grown ass man, who cares? Like, just enjoy it. Just let it be what it is. That's my whole. How do you fix it? Fix your thought process on the All-Star game before you start trying to tweak the All-Star game to become something that it's never going to be ever.
Right. I'm gonna say this. Pull Greer's last comment up. He says 4 teams, 8 players, best 24 players, first to 50 wins. That's what they did last time, Greer. You had dudes who still didn't play. They just flat out didn't play. You know what I mean?
And then you had Draymond Green coming out and saying these kids shouldn't be playing on this court.
They ain't supposed to be on Sunday. It wasn't true because I had to see Keon George on Sunday.
Then you better beat them in a game to 50. You didn't beat them. They won.
No, they didn't. No, that all happened on All-Star Game Sunday. Remember?
I know. Well, they played in the. Oh, okay. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
All right. Here's how you fix it. And I'm gonna say this before I get into if you want to fix the All-Star game. You made a good point because I talked about this on Twitter and I said as soon as we go Monday through Friday, I'm gonna find a way to talk about this. And you just opened the door. The unfortunate way with the way that the NBA is covered now because of social media, little kids don't have the opportunity for these players to be their freaking heroes like we did, bro.
Right.
Because we dissect the game and celebrate losses so much and celebrate failure and try to pull all these players down so much. The kid, man, I'm listening to Gabe talk about the game and he's calling SGA a foul merchant. I'm like, dude, are you crazy? When I was a little kid, I would have looked at SGA like he was Kobe freaking Bryant.
Like he was
that's who he plays like.
The best player ever
seen. Kobe did.
100%.
But Gabe's running around and called him a foul merchant. And why? Because this is the way the NBA is covered by these goofy ass dudes who don't even allow kids the opportunity to look at these kids like heroes. Like they dissect everybody, bro. And it's just such a hating ass culture when it comes down to the freaking stars of the game. That these guys the way these kids don't even have the opportunity to enjoy the game the way that we did. It's crazy. But if you want to fix the All-Star game, it is a very simple fix to me. We all understand that money runs all this stuff, right?
All of it. Yeah.
All you got to do is very simple, Kenny. Do your traditional East versus West. You ain't got to do none of this picking teams. East versus West, right? Have a defensive MVP award where it's like for $3-4 million, whatever you're doing. Get Nike behind it, whoever. Make their defensive player of the year, defensive player of the game award, right? If 4 or 5 dudes are out there playing defense, it's gonna look like everybody's out there playing defense, and it's gonna make guys fight for that award. You get a couple dudes trying to play hard to get this defensive player of the game thing,
right?
And it'll get guys to play. Like all this other gimmicky stuff is just dumb. It doesn't make any sense, man.
And I'll say, let me add on. So King came in here and said, "I think players don't give a damn no more for the game. They didn't care back then when
they
you
didn't care
loved
then
it.
either, bro.
They didn't care about it when you loved
just
it.
Kids.
You just loved it more because they were your
we
heroes.
were young. Yeah,
you
we were
loved
young.
it more, and that's cool.
I watched Penny Hardaway in the All-Star game, and I remember like taking off work in my little high school after school job.
Yeah,
at Foot Locker, taking off that Sunday so I could see Penny All-Star game, right? But bro, if you go back and watch them games, they're doing the same crap. They not playing defense, bro. Like them dudes are not playing defense at all. Like, and that didn't just start.
They were just
freaking kids, man.
They were just gods out there to us as young kids. They were just our heroes, right? Now we're grown-ups. Now we got bills to pay. Now we got kids to raise.
Yeah,
now we got jobs to do. It's just they're not heroes anymore, and that's okay.
It is all good. It is all good. But Kenny, speaking of heroes, Kenny, the second thing that's on my mind, the second point I would like to make, the Orlando Magic, Kenny, are dropping new uniforms.
Man.
And they're throwback. And it's kind of crazy because all their jerseys look like this.
Yes, they do.
Everything they've ever done looks like
it's
this.
The star. It's the star. That's what makes it. That's what makes it old school, nostalgic.
Yeah. And I heard somebody, they were knocking the one that's in the middle, right? They were saying that joint should have been all black, like the pinstripe joint. Yeah. Then somebody's like, "No, man, it's to play off of the warm-up jacket joint." I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, I had that warm-up jacket.
Yes,
and I want to say it came from something my brother was doing. Yeah, one of my brothers was doing something with the preseason game, and I got an actual Magic warm-up jacket.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it's at now. I probably gave it to somebody like a dummy. But that's what that middle one is supposed to be. But those are dope. Those are joints. You know, that's the penny.
That's the pennies. That's the pennies.
That's the 3 colorways they had too. There was the white, the blue, and that's the color of the warm up in the middle. I like it. All of Orlando's jerseys look like that though. Like
I had a hat.
I
had a hat that looked like that middle Orlando Magic jersey right there, the number 25, and I almost got my life taken over that hat when I was 12 years old. Like God bless, man. Nostalgia.
But yeah, that Magic stuff was definitely that gear, man, for sure. And also with those leaked reports getting Summerfield, some Grizzly stuff came out too. The Grizzly jerseys came out. What the alleged Memphis Grizzly jersey? I know you're working on that. There it is. I ain't gonna lie. First of all, that throwback Nike sign in that joint is hard as shit. Sign me up. And when the Grizzlies first got here, if you bought a Grizzly jersey, that's the jersey you bought. That's the jersey you had. It was the Jason Williams joint, the Shane Battier joint.
Yes.
You see the Pau Gasol
joint,
but it was those 3 though were the ones you could see the most, and it was that jersey. Still one of my faves. They wore that jersey a few years ago, but they're bringing it back allegedly for the 25-26 season.
That Nike symbol is hard.
That's just cold, bro. But yeah, that's one of my favorite Grizzly jerseys for sure. But yeah, I'm down for all that. But
I've seen some people say in the comments they're tired of the Vancouver colorway. Are you tired of it yet?
Maybe. I'm tired of seeing the Vancouver jerseys though. I don't want to see nothing but Memphis, man. Get them out of here. Pack it up.
Yeah.
Pack up the Vancouver stuff. Oh, and for the people who wonder, I'm sure I've talked about this before, but I get a new audience all the time. The people who wonder like why the Grizzlies can't take that Vancouver jersey and put Memphis on it. The way it was explained to me is that with all the people that are involved to make that jersey happen, whether it's the NBA, Nike, and Mitchell and Ness. Mitchell and Ness owns that jersey. They won't allow the Grizzlies to alter that jersey at all. And it also can't be a permanent jersey because the Grizzlies get single-year permission to use that jersey from Mitchell and Ness. Mitchell and Ness won't give them the absolute rights to use that jersey, which was also told to me that the most awesome Grizzlies logo of all time, which is that big-ass blue bear, big full-body bear that's like this.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing.
Hold on. Do it again. Let me see. Hold on. There you go. There you go. I like that. I like that.
Let me see if I can find something with it on the end of this. The bear that's like that, but blue.
Yep. I love
It's like
that
this.
logo. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's like that, but blue. You'll never see that joint as a permanent Grizzlies logo because of the licensing issues they have.
Wow.
But I think that's the dopest logo ever. That big blue bear like that is freaking cold. But you'll never see that. But yeah, man. Number 3 though, bro. Number 3, Bill Simmons and his
Crazy conspiracy theory.
Yeah, in his latest podcast, he says, don't quote him on this. Like, don't aggregate this. Don't spread the word on this.
Sorry,
But
Bill.
he says he's hearing. You're right. He said he's hearing a lot of rumblings that one reason why Tibbs was fired is that the Knicks are planning on trading for Kevin Durant, and that Kevin Durant doesn't want to play for Coach Tibbs, and they think that if there was a Giannis deal, it would be the same way. And I want to say that one of the candidates, who did Phoenix hire as their head coach?
Jordan Knott from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I think it's some guy that's like a Phoenix assistant or something that might be a Knicks candidate or something like that.
Not a Phoenix assistant.
But
I don't think.
whoever Bill Simmons was saying, there's some guy that they were saying that might be KD's hand-picked coach, and that might be a reason why Tibbs was fired, as per KD's request. But I think it's going to be a very busy offseason, man. I think we're going to see a lot of movement for sure. For those of you guys who enjoy the transaction porn, grease up, boys. Get your baby oil ready. It's probably going to be a very slippery offseason for you guys.
Do you think
sure.
that if you're New York, wouldn't you have to have some kind of like crazy assurances that Kevin Durant's not going to end up back in Oklahoma City or something like that?
This is New York, bro. This is New York. You know they known for getting hoodwinked by these dudes like this. They've done this song and dance with KD before, when him and Kyrie Irving went to Brooklyn instead.
Who was it? Who was the other one? It was KD and it was Brooklyn. Yeah, it was KD to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He went to Brooklyn instead of New York Knicks. That's right.
Yeah, so they don't care. They this is kind of what they do, for sure. Man, that's it.
I would hope. So it did say. So even like I read reports about Phoenix's head coach hire Jordan Knott, that Devin Booker played a role. Like he was in that final say so. Like Jordan Knott was his handpicked guy to be the head coach, and that's interesting to me. Like we don't hear a lot about players having that much role in it, or at least it being stated publicly like that. But even in the sense of like with the Grizzlies with Tomas, everybody's response was, look at what John Morant said about him at the exit interviews, right? Like, you think players have as much role as they?
Yeah, man, of course they do.
Yeah,
of course they do.
Like even the Mike Malone's firing. Like, do you think?
I think that whole, and that's another thing too. Going back to Eastlow, right? Like the difference between him and when is it Adelman came in with
Adelman from
Denver, right?
Yep.
Mike Malone was fired for like personality issues. Like it was just a crazy locker room. Taylor Jenkins got fired on some like not just personality stuff, but also like what the hell are y'all running? Like what are y'all doing offensively type thing? What are y'all doing defensively type thing? And bringing in Tomas Eastlow at the end of the season can't fix that because he's not going to build a new offense and new defense. He's got to do what these guys know how to do. Yeah. He can just say, okay, well, do what y'all know how to do, but we gonna set some screens too. Like we get this Division III ass offense out of here. It's one of those type of things.
It's church league offense. Noah LaRoche, baby.
Noah LaRoche, baby. Whose bench is he gonna be on next season? Tulane. Right.
Tulane Greenway.
Exactly. Killing dudes in the AAC on Penny ass in the AAC. Can't go out this shit, Penny. You don't even set screens. Thinking, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
I got Noah LaRoche coaching against me.
I got Noah LaRoche on the other side. All right, y'all, we about to take a break, man. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how little our parents gave a damn about us when we were kids. We'll talk about that and more when we come back on the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
A Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
I'm still driving with a paper license. Jesus. I have not received my license in the mail yet. It's supposed to take up to 20 days. It's been about 10.
The man still got a paper. He still got a paper license, a expired plate, and an email.
All right. Well, that's the other update. I still have the expired tags.
Man got a paper. He got a paper license, expired tag
With an email.
with an email. Tell me that's not a white dude driving around. What you would say? Tell you think that's a white dude or a black dude driving around? That's it right. And to feel comfortable about every day, takes the kids to school.
Yeah.
Just everything. Honks at the police. Doing a great job. Love it.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. I'm tripping out this segment for the commercial y'all just saw with Brevin and Rob, man. Because as he was talking, I was like, yeah, my black ass can't do this.
This man, let me tell you this. I mean, Rob has for weeks gone with an expired license, expired tags, and it's just all he's complaining about is I got to go stand in line to get all this stuff done.
Man, look,
And it's like
you do that while black in Mississippi, you gonna spend the night in jail.
in Memphis, what are you talking about? I'm like, man, this guy's
Memphis
crazy.
ain't as bad, but Mississippi for sure. You spend the night in jail. Take my word on that shit. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. It is time to go inside the same brain, man, and talk
Ooh.
about some stuff that's just been on a play of mine, bro. I'm on Twitter yesterday, and I see a post that's kind of trending on Twitter. It says, people who were kids during the 70s, 80s, and 90s, did y'all parents really let y'all just free roam like
Yes.
that when y'all went outside? And I was like, yeah, man. Like, I remember as a kid, we had a general rule of be in the house by the time the street lights came on. But what you did during that time, whether you were on foot, on a bike, or riding on the back of somebody else's bike, or getting pulled in a wagon, or whatever you're doing, right? However you were getting around. Our parents did not give a damn where you were, bro. In and out of people's house, all that type of stuff. Like, our parents had no clue where we were. And we also didn't have cell
We didn't
phones.
have cell phones. We didn't have
We
cell
didn't have
phones.
phones. So, like,
Yeah.
if the parents need you for something, hey, I'll see you when you get back, right? And if you're running late, they had no way to call you, like, hey, where your ass at, right? But all those things were just common. Like, it was common for those things to happen. If you wanted to call yourself really grown and try to go get a tattoo or something, like a Trilogy Tattoos,
Let's go.
and going there playing like you over 18, you might could do that too. But if you are a kid who's walking around the neighborhood and your parents are not watching you, if you're 18 years or older, you can go to my guy Richie Jarvis at Trilogy Tattoo Company, man. Get you a tattoo over there. The best for the past 27 years have been doing in Memphis, man. They ain't no fly-by-night people. Go check them out, man. The best tattoo in the artists.
The OGs
Some of the best tattoo artists in the city. Your favorite tattoo artist work at Trilogy, man.
That's right.
If they got their own spot, they more than likely came through my guy Richie Jarvis and Trilogy. Get with them. I'm about to get my first joint, man. I'm about to break my tattoo virginity on y'all, man. I might get the Underground King tattooed on me, man, because I'm the Underground King of so many things.
Let's go.
My guy,
Edward the Fourth. I got my
got
first
his first
tattoo.
joint. Yeah.
Same with me, Edward. I got my first tattoo at Trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get some more. Tattoos for me are. There's a lot of folks that have a lot of thoughts about tattoos and like why would you mess with the skin God gave you? I'm a big fan of like I have things that I want to remember, things that mean something to me that are special to me. And my next tattoo that I'm gonna be getting from Richie over at Trilogy soon is something that reminds me of my son. And so I have their names tattooed on me. I have my son's name here. I got my daughter's name somewhere over here.
Mhm.
I got just a ton of stuff. I love it, man. It just helps
Yeah.
me. It just is to me. It's a really cool way to remember things, and so
I
trilogy's
feel
the
it.
best. Trilogy's the best.
I've got 2 reasons why I've never had none. I go by the Gary Parrish method of this. I remember Gary saying this a while ago that like there's nothing I did when I was 18 that's still dope to me now. Like the stuff that was important to me when I was 18 is not important to me now. He
Right.
said the only thing that I still like from 18 to now is like I think he said Mountain Dew and Doritos. It's like it's like the only thing. I think he said that's the only thing that mattered to him.
Hey.
And Oreo cookies or something. But I get it. And I got eczema. I'm scared I might break out. That's the only reason why I ain't never did it. But yeah, I'm gonna get my first joint for sure, man.
Wayno's gonna get. Hey, Wayno, you got to get Santi's jersey tattooed on your back and your face, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that would be kind of nasty.
Wayno's a huge Santi Aldama fan.
Yeah.
Massive.
That's what's up. Well, I hope whatever team Santi plays with, you'll still be a Grizzly fan after this offseason, Wayno. But if you're not 18 years old, able to get your own tattoo with Richard Jarvis, you probably still remember the times like when we were kids, Kenny, when our parents gave us absolute freedom to do whatever we like to do, right?
Yep.
And it's so crazy, bro, because like now, like I lived in an apartment complex at first, and I never let Gabe go outside and play with the kids in the complex. Never. Like he never, not even right in front of the door. Never. Like maybe one time I let him play with the kids in an apartment complex. And I live in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah,
now.
you live. Yeah.
And they call this shit Whitehaven. This shit ain't Whitehaven. I don't know what this shit is.
You live in the country, bro.
I live in the country, bro, because I'm sitting there looking at Mississippi out my window. But they say it's Whitehaven. But anyway, Gay goes out and he plays in the community. But even with that, I don't be like, man, bro, we used to roam, bro. We used to be like gone, bro. Like gone all day. Like leaving the house in the morning. Don't talk to our parents at all. It would show up right as it's turning dark. Like, and we'd be burnt up in the sun, and like we had absolute freedom, bro. Like this just does not
compute.
It's just like the stuff that we do now, the way we parent our kids, buying them a phone when they're 8, 9 years. Gabe has had a way to communicate with the outside world since he was 4 years old, bro.
Yeah.
He had an iPad that had where he could call people on
right FaceTime and stuff like that.
FaceTime call.
Yeah.
Even if you went on Wi-Fi, he's had this since he was 4 years old.
Yeah.
And like I could not imagine a world where even at the age he is, like even with me, man, like my mom worked and got off every day at 6. My dad did too. My mom, I was a latchkey kid in the 4th grade, bro.
Yeah.
Riding a bus. I was getting up in the morning, riding the bus to school, getting dropped off by a bus, the school bus, not the city bus, the school bus. It had a key to my house tied around my neck. And I was in the 4th grade. Gabe is in the 5th grade, and we just now started really letting him kind of stay at home by himself, but not for no long periods of time.
Right.
But like, I couldn't imagine Gabe being a freaking latchkey kid a year ago, bro. Like, well, 2 years ago now because he's going to the 6th grade. But by 4th grade year, fam, I was a latchkey kid. You know what I mean? So it's like, I could not imagine him doing it.
What do you think was better? Like, what's a better way? I know is because I feel like what is the constant like saturation of information about how dangerous it is for young kids out there. All the information you can get about, things that happen. I don't think it's any worse now than it was back then when we were young.
That's what I'm saying too, man. I don't particularly think that the stuff is worse. We're just horrible neighbors, bro. We don't know our freaking neighbors. We don't take the time in the neighborhood I'm in now. All these kids are cool. Like I come outside and I say, man, what's up with y'all? Oh, hi. Hey, what's up? What's up? You good? Yeah. Like, like I make that effort to be like the uncle of the street. You know what I mean? To the kids in the neighborhood. And like that has to be an effort. And if you got that type of relationship, you kind of can trust your kids to be all around the neighborhood like that. But we move into these snoozy ass neighborhoods and don't know nobody and ain't trying to know nobody. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And like back in my day, man, like if I got in trouble in school, all my neighbors on my street might get a lick in on my ass. It was gang and this shit ain't mean to ass whooping, you know what I mean? Like these days, man, it's just so different, man. Like
you had a gauntlet of houses you had to go and get an ass whooping from, right?
But I clearly feel like our parents should have gave a little bit more of a damn about us, bro. It's like, hey, I'm gonna ruin y'all childhood real fast.
Oh no.
As we wrap up the show. All right. You remember when we were in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher would roll in the TV on the rack, on the little thing.
Yeah.
We was like, man, we are finessing. We in school
Bro.
watching TV. This like free time. We bullshitting. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
We
Hell
really
yeah.
thought we was like, oh man, damn, she rolled the TV in. We watching some of the bullshit show.
Yeah.
Bro, you realize that was the teachers like getaway time?
Oh yeah.
That was like for them. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
not for us, bro.
That was not for us.
I was grown before I realized. When I started working with teachers as adults, like working for these schools, it's like working with these youth programs and stuff. I started realizing, yeah, man, these teachers are like rolling at their TV so they can get the hell out of these kids' face, these kids hell out of their face for a good hour or two, man. For real, like I really
Hilarious.
thought, like, damn, we in this mug watching TV, man. We chilling. It's a free day. You know what I mean? The teacher like, yeah, y'all go ahead and watch that. I'm gonna be over here screwing around. Let's just get my mind right. Yeah, man.
Edward Force says, as a teacher, TVs
TVs
are
our quiet time. Yeah, I realized that once I started actually working with kids. Like the TV was for the teachers and not for us, man, for sure. For sure. But I'm gonna tell you something else as we wrap up the show, Kenny Stubblefield. It's gonna tug on your heart a little bit, man. It's something I saw on Facebook one time about the whole playing outside in the neighborhood thing.
Yeah.
I saw a sad meme on Facebook that said, you and all your friends in the neighborhood got together and y'all played outside for the last time, but you didn't realize y'all were doing it for the last time.
It's crazy.
That day happened though.
That day did.
That day happened. The day happened where you and your friends hung out and did the neighborhood thing and hot houses and drank water from the hose and all that type of stuff. But you did it for the last time, but you didn't realize it was the last time.
Crazy.
You can't get that time back. You can't. You didn't get the all right, y'all. This is it. I'll see y'all. It just gotta happen. Y'all just stopped hanging out.
Yep.
But you didn't realize that was the last time, man. But
it's crazy, and even now to kind of even hit the heartstrings even more. I was reading somebody was some psychologist or something was telling how do we interact with our families, right? Like our parents and things like that. As we're getting older, as me and you are now middle-aged men with families and all this kind of stuff, you're realizing that, and I know your parents have passed, but like I still have both my parents alive. But there's this idea of like, how do we engage with our families as they're getting older? Like the people that we grew up with. And it's like, if you only see them once, twice a year, like, and they might only have, if they've hit a certain age and they only have a few years left, you maybe have like less than 10 times to see them in your life.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Like spend time with your people, man. Spend time with your people.
Man. You better.
Yep.
And shout out to my, I ain't gonna say no names, man. I ain't gonna say it last name. Shout out to my boy Rob, man. You grew up in the hood, white boy. Back when I was in South Memphis, bro, you wouldn't go into nobody's house because you wanted some water. You better go suck on the hose. You wouldn't come to nobody's house. But my boy Rob Mama used to let us in the house. But his mama was like a real kind of Stepford wife type lady, right? Real made up and
everything was made up. Yeah,
housewife. I think she was a housewife. But she would invite us in for water. Oh man, nigga, I ain't never been around us. So like, she invited us in the house to get some water. But she used to wear like perfume. Ladies back then would have, so it'd be on her hands. So she was making us ice water, but you could taste the perfume in the ice because she was digging in with her hands. Yeah. But yeah, I just have strong memories of that. But Rob, appreciate your mama, man, for opening the doors to me. Your mama was fine in here back then. I ain't gonna lie to you. Your sister was fine, motherfucker. But yeah. Anyway, bro. To be real, bro. Woo! Hey, appreciate you. But yeah, I ain't gonna say my boy last name, but I'm gonna have to make sure I call him.
Oh yeah,
watch this episode of the show. So
this is true. Sitting on transformers, drinking from the water hose, wild times. On electrical transformers, drinking from a water hose.
Drinking from a water hose in the rain.
In the rain.
And football, knocking the cover off that jug. Boom! Throwing the mug into the transformer.
They didn't care, bro. They didn't care about us.
We were crazy as hell as kids, but parents had no clue. My boy Dawson, shout out to my boy Dawson. He's gonna be on the show soon too. Yeah, I got Dawson that covers the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. Right. He said, man, when I was a kid, I left my parents' house one morning. It wasn't back until I got back from out of town for a concert later that night. I was like, what? Man, our parents had no clue. But we'd just be wilding. But just like the TV rolled in for the teacher rolled in the TV, the parents would let us go outside,
get their long
their ass off, do what they want to do.
Whatever.
Drinking, snorting lines, and everything. Like, man, get your ass out. Go hang out, man. We'll see you when it get dark tonight. Let the streets babysit your ass.
That's so good, man.
Yeah, man. But it's been a good one, Kenny. Appreciate you, brother. We'll see you guys tomorrow, man, for more than Anthony Sain Show. Keep rocking with us, man. Sharing the videos, sharing what we're doing, comment.
Yeah, share, like, and comment because YouTube's got us on lockdown right now. So
I don't know what we did. It's probably my fault.
It's your fault. I blame you. It's your fault.
Somebody said, but they hating on us with the algorithm for sure. But we will bounce back from this one day for sure. YouTube, I'm gonna do better, man. I promise. I apologize. We're
I apologize.
gonna start taking the cousin out. But anyway, y'all appreciate y'all, man. For Kenny Stubblefield, this is Anthony Sain. See y'all tomorrow for more Anthony Sain Show, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.